Hello, my name is Alessandro Mariani and I am a project manager at Kayser Italia. In this talk, I will present the Bioreactor Express Service for biological experimentation in space. Let me first introduce the company I work for. Kayser Italia is a private aerospace company located in Livorno, Italy, with a sister company in Harwell, England. We have a staff of 70 people with expertise in electronics, mechanics, thermodynamics, physics, software, optics, chemistry, cellular and molecular biology. Our premises include 5,000 square meters of offices, meeting rooms, conference room, labs, clean room, manufacturing, inspection and integration area, plus a user support operation center to support operation on board ISS, and an experiment support center to support biology experiment integration and execution in preparation to the flight. Our core business is space. We design and manufacture scientific payloads and equipment for ISS and satellites. In the last 34 years, Kayser Italia has participated to over 80 space missions with 120 payloads developed. Our hardware flew on ISS, Shenzhou, STS, Dragon, Cygnus, HTV, ATV, Bion, Photon, Soyuz, and Progress. In July 2019, the European Space Agency and Kayser Italia signed the partnership agreement for the commercial exploitation of the KUBIK facility on board the International Space Station. This agreement opens up to private companies, universities and research organizations the possibility to do their research in space, following an approach that is faster than applying to national and international space agencies' goals. The Bioreactor Express Service is conceived to perform scientific experiments in microgravity. The service takes as input the customer's experiment concept and implements it into a space experiment. No previous experience in space is needed. Kayser Italia staff has the necessary skills and expertise to interface with the customer to understand the scientific requirements and translate them into a space experiment. A large portfolio of flight-qualified and tested hardware is available. It is also possible to design and manufacture new hardware from scratch. The participation to over 80 missions and the development of over 120 payloads ensures the smooth implementation of the space experiment. The Bioreactor Express service is based on KUBIK, ESA's incubator permanently installed in the Columbus module of the ISS. KUBIK has a long-standing success story, with 39 experiments successfully executed since 2004, of which 24 developed by Kayser Italia. As of today, we have 6 more in preparation. KUBIK is a cool and warm incubator with temperature range between 6 and 38 Celsius degrees. It has a standard mechanical, electrical and data interface to the payload and a built-in centrifuge that can provide between 0.2 and 2 G simulated gravity, allowing therefore in-flight controls. KUBIK is ideal for scientific experimentation with its temperature range and the built-in centrifuge that allows in-flight controls. For KUBIK, Kayser Italia developed several types of bioreactors and dedicated experiment containers to support investigation on different biological models such as human and animal cells and tissues, yeast, bacteria, algae, small animals and plants. You can check out the portfolio of available bioreactors at bioreactorexpress.space. This picture shows the experiments performed so far with Kayser Italia's hardware grouped by biological samples. The flight hardware used to support these experiments is flight-proven and available for other missions. A catalog of the available hardware can be downloaded from kayser.it or browsed from Bioreactor Express.space. In order to show what sort of experimentation is possible on the ISS, Kayser Italia established the KI-Spark, a database of technical and scientific publications that aims to collect the knowledge and capabilities developed with space experiments performed on the ISS and other low Earth orbit platforms so far. KI-Spark provides general information on the experiments performed and allows the navigation to the sites hosting the publications through selection of payloads, investigation, or scientific categories of interest. This database is updated with the latest known publications. This database complements the ESA Erasmus Experiment Archive and the NASA Space Station database.
Gravity influences everything that happens on Earth. For an estimated 3.8 billion years, microorganisms, plants and animals on Earth have lived and evolved in the constant physical context of gravity. Removing the pull of gravity can be the key to gaining insight into basic phenomena in many fields, by allowing the underlying processes whose effects are masked by the dominant gravity-dependent forces to be observed. Whether in the fields of biology, physiology, physics, chemistry or technology, microgravity experimentation is a powerful tool to advance knowledge. Orbiting at close to 400 kilometers above the Earth, the International Space Station, the biggest spacecraft ever built by humankind, is a unique, out-of-this-world research laboratory, perfect for performing scientific and technological microgravity experiments, and for testing new products and technologies. Kayser Italia has partnered with the European Space Agency to set up Bioreactor Express, a service conceived to make access to microgravity a reality for companies, universities, and research organizations wishing to perform scientific experiments and technology demonstrations in space. With over 80 space missions, 120 payloads, and more than 50 successful life science experiments carried out in its 34 years of activity, Kayser Italia has the unique know-how and experience to guarantee the seamless implementation of experiments in the space environment. A portfolio of flight-proven experiment containers and bioreactors is available, supporting a variety of biological sample types including plant seeds, bacteria, yeasts, algae, and eukaryotic cells and tissues, as well as small animals such as tardigrades, nematodes, rotifers, and tadpoles. Lead time from contract to launch is 12 months when existing hardware can be used. Changes to existing hardware and new designs are also possible. Once the ideal hardware to perform the experiment has been identified, Kayser Italia provide the necessary training to enable the customer to test and tune the experiment protocol until ready for flight. The integration of the experiment hardware for the flight can either take place at the customer's premises, at Kayser Italia's Experiment Support Center, or at launch site. Once on board the ISS, the experiment is executed by the crew using KUBIK. KUBIK is ESA's incubator facility, permanently installed in the Columbus module of the ISS. Since 2004, 39 experiments have been performed inside KUBIK, most of which were developed by Kayser Italia. Onboard operations can be supported from Kayser Italia's User Support Operations Center. At the end of the experiment, onboard cold stowage is available, as well as temperature-controlled download to Earth. Once back on the ground, the hardware is disassembled, and the samples, together with the experiment data, can be analyzed.
Thank you for your attention. Further information can be found on bioreactorexpress.space and kaiser.it. Have a nice day.